I wanted to try a new fold. My pet tote is one project that would have really benefited from this fold. The holidays are coming, so I decided to build a way to transport bottles to the parties. I started with my plan for the pet tote and scaled it down, making further adjustments as needed. I've wanted to revisit that project and improve on it, and this was my excuse. Liquor and wine bottles vary widely in size, so I compromised to accommodate most of what I had, and to allow my portable bar to be built from a single sheet of corrugated plastic. That does mean that taller bottles won't fit. There are some wider bottles that won't fit as well. The plan accommodates the thickness of the corrugated plastic so that the whole bottom of the portable bar folds together neatly. I've seen this called an outside fold in videos on the Coraclaw, so I'll call it that. I was wise enough to try an outside fold on a piece of scrap plastic before using it on the project. This fold is accomplished by cutting along two neighboring flutes halfway through, and then cutting away the wall between those flutes. That last part requires extra care. By the third time I did this, it had become much easier. But as always, be careful. The outside fold folds easily in both directions. You can also use the outside fold to avoid cutting a printed surface that you want to fold. Note that the outside fold is only possible along the flutes. It won't work cutting across the flutes. I measured this distance in order to decide how long to make the slots on the side flaps. I proceeded conservatively, trying the slots and then extending them by small amounts, incrementally, until they were right. The plastic edges might be hard on the hands with a lot of weight, or carrying it for an extended period of time, so I left a flap to offer a smoother grip. I cut away one layer of the grip, making it easier to use. I've made inside dividers for several projects now. They're pretty easy and straightforward to make. The portable bar improves on the pet tote in a number of ways. The outside folds make the top flaps easier to open, which makes it easier to access what's inside. The end flaps don't line up properly. There was no good reason for that. I just didn't bother with it. It's only an aesthetic issue. After seeing it folded, I cut one of the flaps shorter, just to make it look that little bit better. Everything works as it should. This type of closure might be overkill for this application. With the pet tote, there's a kitty inside that will be trying to get out. And of course, liquor and wine don't normally do that. The biggest shortcoming of this project is that there are some bottles that just won't fit. I made that decision in order to make the whole project from a single sheet of corrugated plastic, and to wrap that single unbroken sheet around the bottom, making it as strong as possible. Unfortunately, larger bottles not fitting is a fairly big downside. I do like that the whole thing is held together with just 2 zip ties. A moment of honesty. If I ever actually use this liquor tote, it'll be more due to the fact that I have one than to any real need to haul 6 bottles of liquor to a party. But, in for a penny, in for a pound, I decided to invest some more time in pursuit of a better solution. The closure is the most involved part to construct, and it takes up a fair bit of plastic as well. By simplifying that, I was able to add a few inches to the height of the carrier, while still accommodating 6 bottles. The really experimental thing about this approach is the handle. I wasn't sure how well it would work, but I would find out. I made sure that the end flaps would align neatly this time. I had to trim a ½ centimeter off of one side flap, but of course that wasn't much trouble. This design is easier to build and holds a wider range of bottles, as planned. The handle works well for carrying, although it's not as comfortable as the first design. One small downside is that there's nothing holding the top shut. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and click the bell to be sure that you're notified of my next video.